it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Hanging
All
in
right.
there.
Where are you based?
I am in Fresno, California.
Oh, nice. Your name's Clayton, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, man. Welcome to Pitch Investors Live. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Cool. Yeah. So, great thing, real quick, about Pitch Investors Live. Have you been on our platform here yet?
I have. Yeah. Been checking it out for about a month now.
All right. Cool. So the great thing is, you're in California. I'm in New York. Talking to each other, obviously, over the internet here, one on one. But we also have a live audience watching us. So it's not just one on one; it's you to the world, and everyone has a chance to see your business and what you got, and all that. So I'd love to kind of hear about. Oh, wait, excuse me here. Oh, did I lose you? You're good.
I'm
All right,
sorry.
cool. Love to hear about LeadJar and what you got going on.
Yeah. So, guess a little bit about myself is I'm in California, like I said, 34 years old. Kind of always been in that entrepreneurship mentality. Um, and over the past 5 years, to I got into health insurance, and so we did a lot of lead generation during that time. And so what I did is I transitioned out of health insurance, and now I'm more involved in the lead generation aspect. I prefer technology, things like that. So I've been developing a actual open marketplace for something that can accommodate and kind of open up the market. Um, so just a little
And what
bit
do you
about
run?
it.
What do you run lead gen for? What type of offers?
Right now, we do majority health insurance, so like health,
Mm-hmm.
life, auto. Do some solar as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so within the lead generation community, there's a couple ways that companies normally do it. Right? They can either go hire their own staff, get those guys trained up, have them doing their own digital marketing,
Mm-hmm.
generating their own leads in house, or they can go out and they can find publishers who actually own all those web assets and drive the leads themselves, and they just pay per lead or pay per call. Um, and so in the middle, there's also what are called networks. So networks are basically like brokers. They'll have an army of publishers on one end, and they'll have equivalent buyers on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Buyers in businesses like anything, home improvement, anything that needs a lead in order to survive, which is majority of businesses, right? Uh, the main areas are going to be like the home improvement, the financials, and the insurance industries. And so what I've been doing lately is more focused on pay per call. So are you still there?
Yeah.
Kind of
Sorry.
lost you.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So the paper industry is growing rapidly. Currently in 2018, it hit $10.6 billion in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And by 2020, it's projected to be 13.7 billion. And so the market is pretty large, and it's just growing. And the great thing about pay per call as opposed to pay per lead, which
Mm-hmm.
most businesses they're more in tune with the pay per lead, right? I'm going to pay somebody, and they're going to give me a data lead, and I'm going to have to call that data lead, get them on the phone, and then
Yep.
try and sell that customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now with a pay per call, it's different because that customer is on the phone, they're ready, they're interested. So the level of buyer intent is extremely higher than a form fill lead.
Mm-hmm.
So closing rates across the industry average about 30%, as some see about 70 up to 75% closing rate on these pay
Mm-hmm.
per call leads. Now, currently, there is a shortage or a demand for more publishers to enter the market to start generating the pay per call method as opposed to the pay per lead method.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a huge opportunity. Like I said, by 2020, it's projected to hit $13.7 billion in revenue.
What? Just the pay-per call method
Just the
specifically?
paper. That's just pay per call. These are the pay per call
Mm-hmm.
statistics.
Now, real quick, how do you track though the pay-per-call? Like, if I send, if I'm generating leads and I send 100 leads in an email or 100 leads in an Excel sheet to a company buying my leads, how do you track pay per call, or is it different, or are my
Yeah,
leads
so
converted to
so
them
it's a little
differently?
yeah, so it's a little bit different. So for what everyone is comfortable with leads wise, it's data, right? I'm getting the
Mm-hmm.
buyer's name, phone number, maybe email address, maybe their credit score, whatever the vertical is that the lead's being generated for. And then you're going to get an Excel spreadsheet, or maybe it's going to come directly to your email address, and then it's up to you to get on the phone and call that lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with
Mm-hmm.
pay per call, it's the publisher, the one marketing for this vertical. They've actually already got the customer on the phone. So the customer's on the phone, live on the phone, wanting to talk with somebody. We'll use health insurance, for example, since I'm pretty familiar with health insurance. That's kind of my niche. So with health insurance, right, you'll have somebody that's like, yeah, I need to get health insurance. They get on the phone, they call one of these marketers' numbers. That number is then routed through what's called call tracking software. Uh, and that call tracking software is going to pick up, a lot of the call information like the geotag, things
So
like
you're
that.
driving. So in the marketing, you're driving a lead form. You're not driving, or you're driving a number, not driving a lead form.
Right, you're driving an actual call, so it's
A
a
phone
click to
call.
call.
Yeah,
Right.
gotcha.
So most of it's done on mobile. So like when you Google something, right, you're saying, I need health insurance in New York, right? Or cheap health insurance plans in New York. And boom, you're going to have those 3 ads at the top of Google, right? Well, on your mobile phone, there's also what's called click to call ads. So it'll have like a little phone emblem next to it. And if you click that ad, because it strikes your interest, you click that ad and your phone will automatically dial that phone number,
Mm-hmm.
which will go straight to that health insurance agent. Now that agent's not the one who posted that ad. A publisher posted the ad. Now the
Mm-hmm.
publisher uses call tracking software in order to route that call to available buyers. And so the software controls who's paying the most for that lead, who's willing to take, or who's open to taking the lead right now, or the call right now. So the software kind of will do it all within milliseconds to be able to route that phone call to that publisher's buyers. And so once that buyer picks up the phone and they have the customer on the other line, now there's different things, like it could be instant connect and the publisher gets paid, or
Mm-hmm.
the publisher could say there's a 2-minute buffer time where I'm going to allow the agent on the other line 2 minutes to qualify that lead before he pays me for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a $40 health call, right? So the publisher's charging the buyer $40 for that call if it exceeds 2 minutes.
Gotcha.
So if it exceeds 2 minutes, then the call tracking software also will mark that as a billable call. And so that's kind of how the flow works as far as pay per call networks. Um, and the reason I'm kind of focusing in on pay per call right now, one, it's pretty untapped as far as um, the amount of people in the space, the publishers. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
need for publishers. There's a demand for the calls from the buyer side. So the supply and demand is there. Um, the amount per call is a lot higher than a per lead form fill. So you might pay $5 to $20 for a form fill lead, where you're going to pay $40 to $120 or even $700 for a phone call, right? Because that buyer intent's going to be there already, so that buyer knows that it's a more valuable lead.
Let me
So like,
let me ask you this question: if they do the phone call right away, right, the one tap phone call, the person who's generating the lead, the marketer, publisher, whatever, do they then keep the data from the person? Because I know in the form fill they do. They get the data and they could sell the lead to multiple sources also.
right, so they get the phone number. They're able to keep the phone number. They're
So
able
they
to
do.
keep,
Okay.
yeah. So they're not going to have all in like a nice little spreadsheet, the name and all that stuff, but they can record that phone call. Number one, recording the phone call is going to keep the buyer honest as far as if that was a billable call or not, if that was a valid lead.
Right.
And two, it's for quality assurance. It's for, tweaking that campaign to make sure that they're getting the best calls out of it. And so they
Because I
can
know,
go.
like one of my partners and one of my buddies here locally where I live, and also a partner in one of my businesses. He's a lead generator, makes millions of dollars doing it, one man, and he generates a lead for business loan financing or VoIP services or various different things, right? But he'll sell the lead legitimately. This is common practice. Sell the lead to multiple sources, because he may spend $3, $8, $15, whatever on the lead, and one company may only give him $6 for the lead, but so he'll sell the lead to multiple sources in order to make back the money doing so.
Right. And so that's where people are starting to pull away from that type of lead generation.
Be. Right, because it's, people are getting hounded, right?
Right. And so, like, how many times have you got calls from people saying, I don't know about you personally, but I know personally I get calls all the time saying, hey, we got your information that you're interested in health insurance, and I might get called 5 times a day from different numbers because it's someone that sold my data to multiple vendors, right?
Right.
Now,
I get those calls all the time because I fill out every form just for learning purposes, really. No, I do.
Yeah. Just trying to see.
I want to see how everyone's doing it. Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so buyers are becoming more savvy to that as far as the value of a form fill lead. Now there's no denying the value of a phone call lead. That is the only true exclusive lead there is in the market now. Before, you might have been able to get an exclusive data lead, but chances are that person went and filled out 15 other forms. Right. So that's 15 other companies that are going to buy that lead 7 times, right?
Right. So you could monetize it once, and then it's just about how much it costs you to get the phone call versus how much you're making on the phone call.
Right. So, like, for a health lead, you can generate a health lead, if you're really good at it, anywhere from $3 to $20 for a health lead. Currently, right now, some of the bigger networks are selling health leads for $120 to $160 per call. Okay. Now, another way to monetize that is through tweaking the lead, the call distribution software in a way that if that customer calls back that phone number, it will get routed to a different buyer. So now you're getting paid twice on that same phone call. So for whatever reason, that first phone call didn't go well, or maybe it dropped halfway through, then that customer recalls that number and can get connected to a different buyer. And so then they get paid a second time on that call. Now that comes down to business ethics. If the publisher is comfortable with doing that, or you can also have it reroute to that original buyer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just times. It's an average thing. It may happen sometimes, but so what's LeadJar?
So LeadJar is originally, when I started as a network. So I had publishers and buyers on both sides, and I basically brokered the leads. And so what I found is, now that pay-per-call is, you still there?
Yeah, sorry, I was getting a text. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So now that pay-per-call is becoming more mainstream, we'll say, more popular. Yeah. There's a lot of fraud that's going on, and so on both sides. So buyers not paying the leads that they agreed to pay for, and publishers sending bogus leads. So basically incentivizing people to call phone numbers, sit through so many minutes on that phone call, get off the call back again, get on a different buyer, so on and so forth. So that's becoming a major issue within the industry, and it's very black box. So it's very closed off. Your networks, they're not going to tell you who's actually generating that lead for the buyer, and the publishers aren't going to know who they're really selling the leads to. So it's real closed off, real in the dark. And so my idea was that, there's got to be a better way to open up the industry to make people more accountable for the leads that they're generating, and make companies more accountable for following through on their end and purchasing the leads like they say they're going to purchase, not doing shady refund activities, chargebacks, things like that. So as we all know, marketplaces, peer-to-peer marketplaces, Airbnbs, Upwork, all those type of places are very popular now, right? So, and people are more comfortable using those types of platforms. So I thought, okay, why don't we have something like that for lead generation? Why can't there be a place where I can go and see various publishers within the vertical or industry that I'm in and view their ratings and view their reviews from buyers that are buying for their leads? It keeps everyone honest. So I implemented a 5-star rating system, a review system, pretty much everything that you would find in any kind of freelance marketplace, right? But then integrated with what I feel is one of the best call tracking third-party platforms on the market today. They're high tech, they're constantly innovating. And the reason with integrating versus building my own is, number one, it's a third-party system. So now there's extra accountability as far as LeadJar not controlling the whole process, right? Now there's checks and balances. So we can't go in there and say, hey, we've deleted stuff or changed stuff or, charge people for different things. There's a third-party software that's in the middle of, the buying and selling parties as well. And plus, this software is millions of dollars that they spend on it to implement. They've got top advisors. They've got people from, all different areas and verticals within the lead space that have been in there for much longer than I have. So they know what they're doing. I just kind of built the marketplace and taken the technology, and now I have connections already with publishers and buyers to bring onto the marketplace and start actually testing that out.
So you connect publishers and buyers, basically. Is that
right? But in an open atmosphere, not how it is now, where it's closed off and nobody knows who's working with who.
Do people want people to know who they're working with, though?
If you were buying from somebody, would you want to know if that person's shady or not? Would you want to know if they had a bad experience, if other buyers like yourself had bad experiences with publishers?
Yes, but if I were selling to someone, I wouldn't want my other buyers to know who I'm selling to.
Right. So we close off who the actual buyers are. So you can't go onto the marketplace and start searching buyers and then just go with them direct. So it's closed off in the fact I can go and view all publishers because, publishers are out there on the masses and they're trying to get out there. But as far as the buyer goes, the buyer connection between the two parties, the buyer is going to post their campaign, right? They're going to say, I need this many leads. These are my filters. This is my budget. And it's going to post kind of like a job board. It's going to say, hey, this is the campaign that I'm looking for. Publishers are then going to go and bid on that campaign saying, hey, I can give them to you for $25 a lead, or I can give them to you for $30 a lead. The buyer can then review all those offers, select one or multiple publishers to work with, test those publishers. If it's not working, close that publisher off, give them the review that they deserve, and move on with the campaign.
The
publishers,
go ahead.
The publishers aren't going to know on the system. They're not going to see that it's, XYZ company. They're just going to say, I'm working with, Clayton White. This is what he was looking for. This is his past reviews. This is his past spins. So then I can bid on that job and work with that person. So it kind of keeps a mask between the actual company that they're working for, but the company has full control over the filters and the publishers that they're working with.
So the companies can see the publishers then?
Yeah, everyone can see the publishers, but nobody can see the companies.
But no one could see the companies. Okay. So if I'm a publisher and I go and I'm looking for my, another publisher that's, that's in competition with me, could I go see what people have left him good reviews? What companies have left him good reviews?
Right. You can go and search a publisher and say, okay, I'm looking for, John Smith publisher.
Right.
Search him, find him, look at his reviews, look at his star ratings. Now it's not going to show you what companies he worked for.
Gotcha.
It's going to say but a business left this review about this publisher.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. And then as a publisher, I could search for companies though, right? Can I search for companies by name or how?
No, you search by campaign. So you don't want to go and say, hey, I only want to work with Apple, right? We'll just use Apple for example. I only want to work with Apple and Samsung if I'm generating, cell phone leads.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to say, I generate cell phone leads. What campaigns are out there that are accepting cell phone leads right now?
So you'll never see the company name.
Correct.
Interesting.
So that keeps them, number one, it keeps them on the platform, right? Now, obviously, there's ways around where they can go offline and they can do phone calls and they can get the information that they want, but that's just
right.
how anything can work. If I work through a network as a publisher, I can figure out who their buyers are if I really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But normally what's going to happen is that publisher is going to work with that network because that network has a vast library of buyers, and they're already handling all of the business operation sides. So the publishers just want to go in there, they want to put their ads, they want to generate their leads, and they want to make money. Right?
Interesting. I like it. It's pretty cool.
And so also with the demand for publishers, there's also a demand for, there's the demand to bring more publishers into the marketplace. And one of the biggest niches online is how to make money online, right? So another aspect of this is actually training new publishers, bringing them on the platform so that the publisher base on the LeadJar platform is huge. And it gives a new publisher an opportunity to go and make a good name for themselves, to come out and start generating good leads, get those good reviews, start from nothing and build his way up to, some of these publishers are making millions of dollars a month just doing pay-per-call.
Trust me, I know. So is this only for pay-per-call platform?
Right now. So I only want to start with pay-per-call because it's growing. There's a need for it. And it's a lot easier to get going right off the bat than form fill leads. With form fill leads, we got to start integrating a lot more processes in the background. There's a lot more JavaScript that needs to be handed out and put on people's pages. There's a lot more tracking involved. So the complexity of adding the form filled leads were a little bit more than what we wanted to take off right off the bat. We wanted to take it in steps. Start with pay-per-call. It's the easier way, and then keep building and building, releasing more features as we grow.
Cool. I think it's pretty cool. Anything out there like it?
So there's a couple similar things, not as open as what I'm doing, very exclusive in nature as well. I actually personally signed up for a couple of them, and I've generated quite a bit of money online being a publisher myself. Mm-hmm. So number one, was never contacted. So I'm not sure if they were actually functioning anymore or if they were just capturing people's information because they're trying to build something like that. But it was very niche as far as like one of them was just financial services. One of them is you sign up, you give this company all your information, your landing page, your creatives, everything that you use to generate leads, and then buyers just go in there secretly and pick what publishers they want to use. So publishers don't know who they're working with or what's going on between the scenes. They're just sending leads to these buyers, not getting any reviews or anything like that to build social credibility in order to grow their business. So in a sense, there is similar things. I've only found about 4 that kind of relate in the same aspect. One of them is it's a wholesale site. So somebody would have leads that they've already bought and then they can sell it on the site. Real static, nothing really dynamic, no tracking involved or anything like that. The other site really closed off. The other 2 never responded to any of my emails, never responded to I even paid to become part of one of them, and they never they never gave me an account or anything.
Interesting.
So it was
Um,
pretty sure it was a dead site.
yeah, that's messed up. So, have you launched yet?
No, I'm still in development. So I'm trying to launch. I'm about 85% done with the platform. Trying to launch the first like beta phase here by the end of the month.
Awesome, man. That's cool. Congrats.
Thank
Um,
you.
is this like a full-time thing for you, or you're kind
Yeah,
of
this is
you're
no, this is what I
yeah
do.
still doing any
Yeah,
publishing yourself? Any lead
yeah,
gen?
yep.
Nice.
That's what I do.
Can never can never get away, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can make a lot of money doing that. I know. So that's
yeah.
cool. So what do you do? What are you here for? Raising money?
Well, I'm kind of open in two avenues. I originally went on here to see if um, funding was available. So the offer that I was kind of looking for was 100,000 for 15% with an accelerated payback method. 25% of the monthly revenues until the loan's paid back, and then it goes back into the 15% equity share.
Man,
Um,
it's a good offer right there, man. I like that. You're thinking about the investor on that side.
yeah, I gotta watch the people helping out, right? Keep them happy.
That's like,
And then
yeah, go ahead.
also too, I was also open to just bring some people on as advisors too, helping me out. Like maybe if financing was an option, helping maybe doing like a crowdfunding type thing or anything that I can do to just help promote the platform
Hmm.
and get people onto it, get it more exposure, um, that route. So
Hmm.
kind of open
Cool,
to it.
cool, man. Awesome. Um, what can you show me? I mean, do you have, you know, I mean, the platform's almost built. Are you able to show me around it a little bit?
Yeah, so I've done all the UI and UX design myself. So everything I've done, what I did is I designed everything in Photoshop, and then I have a programmer that I hired, and he's doing all the conversions into the actual HTML and PHP currently right now.
And what are you just doing off like a WordPress platform?
No, no, it's all customized.
It's custom. You're
So
completely customizing.
right, yeah.
Wow, nice, nice. Okay. Um,
If we want, we can hop on. I can set up a time we could do a screen share, and I could show you
I'd
what
love
we
to
have
do
done.
that. I'd love to do that to take a look at it. What I would also love for you to do is send me. Do you like? I'm sure you have some type of presentation on it, like just like a sales overview, sales presentation overview of the platform pitch deck type thing.
Yeah, so there's a pitch deck that's linked in the actual description for this post for the.
Do you mind emailing that to me?
Yeah, I'll email it to you, and then I
Okay,
can email you. I have a quick business plan as well. I can shoot that over as well.
cool. Yeah, so email that to me. My email. I don't know if you have my email. It's Brian at kevinharrington.tv. I'll put it in the chat here. If all right, I just put it in the chat. You see that?
I don't see it.
No. Okay,
Oh,
Brian
there we go.
Brian. You got it.
Got it.
All right,
Got it.
cool. So yeah, send me that stuff over. Also, I would love to. I want to research the competition that you're mentioning. I
Okay.
want to look into them, see what they're doing, see what they're doing
Yeah,
right, what they're doing wrong. So if you could send me
I'll
links
take
and
you over there.
lists, that's cool. And like for me, we've traditionally never been in the lead gen space per se. To tell you a quick story, never been in the lead gen space per se. We've always, sold physical stuff, sold stuff directly to the consumer. And over the last, I mentioned my buddy and business partner earlier. Over the last year or so, when I started, hanging around with this gentleman a little bit more, like this, yeah, he just does lead gen. That's it. That's all he does. That's all that's how he's made his money. And he's made millions and millions of dollars. Like, and all of a sudden he pulls up in a Lamborghini one day, and I'm like, man, like that lead gen thing's really legitimate. Like I didn't, I mean, he's got, not, he's got like 5 beautiful cars, and I know people could fake that and all that, but like Man, you must be, this lead gen thing. You could be making some real money doing this thing, right? And then I started looking into it more, and then we partnered on a company and um, learning about the space a lot more over the last year than I ever did. And I know it's a huge, huge industry. Like my blinders have been focused on selling products direct to consumer. And now I realize like this whole lead gen over the last year is just unbelievable. And it's huge. So I know you're onto something big here.
Yeah, so if you think about it, the number one industry that's never going to go away is food, right? Because everyone's got
Mm-hmm.
to eat. Same thing with business. Lead generation is never going to go away because there's
Right.
always a business that needs to eat. And these
Right.
companies, so when I was running my health insurance call center, we would spend in excess of $30,000 to $40,000 a week in lead generation.
Yeah.
And so we were spending a good chunk of change, and
Yeah.
that was just to keep the business. And as long as we were spending that money, we were making the money.
Yeah.
So, and that's just one company,
Yeah, of course.
And so there's bigger companies out there spending millions of dollars a week on lead generation.
Sure.
And so with this platform, it's kind of, number one, it's worldwide because there's companies all over the world. There's publishers all over the world. Everyone's doing this online. Mm-hmm. And what we do is basically charge a small per lead transaction fee.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, it's also increasing the amount of money these publishers are going to make because when they're selling to networks who are then selling to buyers, those networks take anywhere from like 25 to 400% profit margins on these leads that they resell from these publishers who are doing all the work.
Right.
And I get it because there's business expenses involved in operations.
Who do you take that money from? The publisher or the buyer?
Take from the publisher. So
okay.
So say the buyer saying, or the publisher saying, I'm going to sell a lead for $25, right? Then we would take $5 and the publisher would get 20 in return. So when the buyer pays that 25, LeadJar takes 5, 20 goes to the publisher.
Gotcha.
So it's a smaller percentage that they're losing out, not losing out because, we've got a marketplace for them.
You're bringing the opportunity, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So we're bringing food for both sides of the table and we're just taking whatever little scraps we can.
Nice. Cool. Good stuff. And your goal is to, you have to get both publishers and buyers on the platform.
Right.
So you have to hit both sides.
Correct. Which
and
is not
difficult. Which is what?
Not difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's the opportunity for both sides. So you're just bringing a better platform, a better serving plate to the table.
Right. Because listen, buyers are always looking for more leads. Publishers are always looking for more places to sell their leads, right? And to monetize them. So
if it's easy for them to jump on and start going right out of the gate, then it's something that they're going to adapt to pretty well.
Awesome. So listen, send me that stuff. I think there's a lot more stuff we could talk about and questions and a lot more things here. But let's kind of go through some of those things and then then we'll keep going. We'll keep talking because I think this is something interesting here.
All right, appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll get that all over to you today.
Awesome. All right, man. Thanks
for coming on. All right, have a good one.
All right, good meeting you.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, hey, real quick. So I did have a little offer that I wanted to extend to everybody who was watching this. If they're interested, they can go to LeadJarMarketplace.com and get early access onto the platform. So if they want to go on there, it's a quick form fill, put their name and number, and they'll be the first ones to get onto the platform when we launch.
Any special discounts for them or anything?
Yeah, we'll work all that stuff out.
Awesome. Got to help the Pitch Investors Live community here. I appreciate it.
Exactly.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.